All right. So Trump being possibly arrested tomorrow. And here's my thoughts on it. My thoughts are innocent till proven guilty. This person has been persecuted by the deep state for the last 7 years, more than anybody probably in history. Constant investigations. And if he did do these crimes, which from what I'm hearing are misdemeanors in New York City, which if so, he should probably be released right away anyway because there's no bail policy. So it's just a charade to get the pictures of Trump in handcuffs. Whatever. That's all it is. um, I don't know if he broke any laws. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I can't know everything about every single little detail that's ever been thought of or whatever. Like, I'm not an expert in finance. I'm not an expert in the law. I have some basic common sense, which I think a lot of people in America lack. um, but that's what I think is going on. They want to try to. Um, I think it's a distraction. Obviously, honestly, I think it's a distraction from the failure of our financial market. This is what you see: constant distractions of what should like Trump getting arrested is. I guess it's huge news. I get I understand that it's huge news. No president has ever been arrested or indicted. I get that. But it's just so funny how the people on the left keep like clamoring for his arrest and they're like so happy about a couple possible misdemeanors that he committed over like these huge crimes of like Obama killing a 16-year-old with a drone or Bill Clinton, he paid people off. He paid women off. And he did things which Trump is accused of, but nobody wants to talk about that. That's what I'm saying. It's like only one side. They'll completely ignore all the crimes of on the left, like Biden, um, him taking money from China, things like that. I don't know the details of everything. Where Trump, like True Social, got 8 million from Russia. You know, it just depends on how it's done. Trying to extort people, trying to use your political power with the government to try to gain advantage. I think that's probably a crime. I don't know. And whoever commits a crime, it doesn't matter if they're right, left, people I support, people I don't support, people should be held to the same standard, but the left will not. Um, Now Trump said go out and protest, and my response to that is that there's no way in hell I'm gonna go out and protest for him after him abandoning the January 6th people. There's no way in hell. Um, and that's what it looks like. I mean, you're gonna have people that go out and protest, and then you're gonna have feds in there that try to, in my opinion, or Antifa, people on the left that try to incite some type of a riot or some type of a violence, and then they pin it against the mostly peaceful Trump supporters as a broad stroke. It's kind of like me saying, "Oh, all Democrats or people on the left are Antifa." Um, that's just not the case. Um, they all commit violence. That's not the case. Um, and that's the problem. And everything is my side versus your side. Um, there's no unification at all, and I don't see it happening. And I think that people are just gonna have to pick a side. Honestly, like you either want to be communist or you don't, because that's what it really is about. It's about communism, um, centralization of power, and then there'll be a dictatorship. Whether it's at some point there'll be a dictatorship, and I don't know if that dictator will be Trump. I don't know if it's going to be DeSantis or some other figure. I don't know, someone on the left. Who the hell knows? But I am not going to go out there and protest for Trump. You know what will get me out there protesting? I'll tell you what will get me protesting. If my bank fails and the little money I have in there, which my Bitcoin right now is worth more now than the money I have in the bank because Bitcoin is blown up. I'm saying that's going to sustain where it's at, but because I'm a holder, I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to see what happens with it. You know, I seen the value of my crypto go from $31,000 like a year ago to like $9,000, and I haven't sold any of it. In fact, I've been robbed of some of mine, but it is my fault for keeping it on an exchange. But and I'm not getting bailed out. But if my bank fails, and if my bank's not deemed worthy because it's not systemic enough to cause a systematic collapse, and my little funds under $200,000 is not insured, that will get me out protesting. Because you're bailing out rich people and then you're not helping out the regular person, which that, I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm just saying, like, from what I'm hearing, they've used a lot of the FDIC, if that's what it is. Man, there's so many you go into finance and they're sitting here talking about all these like 3-letter things. It's like a different language because I don't know what it means. And it's like, but these people are experts in that thing. But the common person doesn't even understand basic economic theories or basic economics. I'm definitely not a damn financial expert. I'm definitely not. And I don't even I like to understand a little bit about it, but I'm not no damn expert. I'm not trying to act like I am. What I'm trying to say is, they're setting the insurance, all those billions that's in the insurance for FDIC to bail out, to insure 250,000 and under. If that is run out, and then you see these big rich people, it doesn't matter if they have payrolls for other people. You know, that's not my concern, man. They should run their business better. They run a business. They should be held accountable. They should have their $250,000 insured, and anything after that they should lose. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. They shouldn't put all their eggs in one basket, and that's how it is at running a business. Like, you should know, and if you take in $100 billion a year, maybe you should have $100,000 different accounts of $250,000, whatever it is, man. That's your responsibility, to have that money insured. It's not the taxpayers. Maybe you should have that money invested in different assets instead of just putting it all that cash in one bank. And those people losing jobs, I mean, that's an unfortunate. And I don't relate to those people who would lose their jobs, because these people are usually, the people who they were talking about are startup tech companies. And I'm sure these people make a lot more money than me. And they what they do is they want to use they use people like me for their political gain. That's what they do. Like, the regular folks, they use them for political gain as pawns. So, like, oh, what about the people that aren't going to get paid? Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, if my company goes under that I'm working for and I'm not getting paid, then I guess I go find another fucking job, dude. I don't know what to say. Is it unfortunate? Yes. And if you're in one of these startup businesses in California and you're in a tech, I'm sure you should be smart enough to have your assets diversified. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not up to the tax, but what it is it's too big to fail. So what happens when these big gigantic companies like Chase go down, we're going to have to bail them out. Why? Because it's systemically going to cause everything to break down. I don't trust our fiat currency. My opinion, and I could be wrong. I I think saving cash is trash. If you want to, like, I think saving cash in the short term is okay. But for like long term retirement investments and shit, I just don't trust that, man. I never have. I think that inflation is going to keep going higher and higher and higher. Like, it's hard for me to explain because I'm definitely not no expert, but I definitely don't articulate myself that well. But um, what I see going forward in the next 10 years, we have we have this extreme amount of national debt. We have it's not just 31 trillion dollars in national debt. We have like over 100, like probably 80 trillion dollars of unfunded liabilities, which means like promised money out towards people, like retirements and stuff like that. This welfare state isn't gonna, it can't sustain itself. We can't continue this. They keep printing out money, devaluing our currency, and at some point, these boomers are gonna have to retire at some point because they're just not gonna be able to work. They're just not gonna be able to physically work anymore. And obviously, most boomers they refuse to learn new technology, so they're not gonna be able to um, partake in any type of new technology jobs. So they're just gonna have to rely on whatever they've saved. Whatever cash they've saved. I'm not telling anybody to what to invest in. I just say what I've invested in and what I think is valuable. Because I'm not no expert, and even experts don't even know. The future is so uncertain when it comes to finances. But what I do understand is fiat currencies have never lasted. And you know, it's been, I think from what I heard is like they don't last more than like 50-60 years, and our fiat currency has not been backed by gold for about 50 years now, and you can see the decrease of the value of our dollar. It takes more dollars to buy stuff. So if you're just sitting here hoarding cash, you know, like if you had like $50,000 in 1970s and you're like, I'm just hoarding this, and that $50,000 is probably worth like, I don't know, $10 million back then, and now it's only worth like you lost a lot of the value. I don't know, man. I can't do it off the top of my head, but you understand what I'm saying. The total devaluation of our currency is happening, and I think it's going to happen more rapidly. I think it's going to happen way quicker. You know, these banks don't even carry like the cash reserves in their banks. So if everybody just started going to banks and try to take out their money in cash, all these banks would fail because they don't. Most of it already is digital anyway. People are like, oh, the Fed coin, blah 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 blah, CBDASC or whatever the fuck they're trying. Central bank currency, CBC. Dude, most people use credit card. I can't buy things off of Amazon with cash. I'm not gonna send cash. Who the hell sends cash in the mail anyway? They're not gonna accept gold coins. They accept digital money. That's what they accept. So I don't trust cash. I don't trust our fiat currency. It, it's all debt, and it's gonna, you know, come down like a house of cards at some point, and I think it's in the next 10 years. With all the baby boomers quitting, like stop doing their jobs, so you'll have less people producing things. This next generation, Gen Z, don't want to work, which I can't blame them. I can't blame them. There's no carrot on the stick no more. So the people in our economy are going to be just pretty much consumers because there's so many baby boomers. And that's going to drive up the prices on everything. Um, what I think the prices are going to be driven up on is like commodities. I think food, just regular things to live. But I think other things like luxury items are probably going to take a huge decrease because you don't need that stuff to live. I don't know. I'm not. You, it's all supply and demand, right? But you might see like really luxurious things be sold for like pennies on the dollar coming up. Like we find a luxurious, um, just to get out. Like somebody's got a Hummer or something, and they want to get out from underneath that Hummer because they don't want to spend all that money on gas, and maybe it's worth like they bought it for I don't know like $200,000 or something, and then they still like owe maybe 150,000 on it, right? And maybe they'll take a huge loss just to get out from underneath it because and go with the more environmentally friendly car or economically friendly car, kind of like my car. Like I could have kept my truck, which I was so upset about losing, but it was worth the value of that Hummer is probably worth like I don't know 70,000, and they still owe 150,000. So on my truck, I still owed $27,000 on it, because I was leasing it, but it was only worth 22,000 in the blue book. So it's kind of pointless to take a loan out to pay that off or whatever, and pay high interest rates on it instead of just getting just downsizing and get more of an economic friendly car, like I did. Um, my payments would have put me underneath, so I might be paying like $900 a month for that truck, or 800, 700, whatever. But I'm only paying $300 a month for my car, and that's way more sustainable for me. Um, and that's the type of stuff that you might see happening. Um, I just don't have any faith in our fiat currency, and it's really weird to see that our fiat currency is becoming now. It's not there yet. You can say that Bitcoin is more volatile. You can say that. Seems like the most sustainable thing is gold or silver because those have pretty much stayed around the same prices as when I bought them. But um, maybe they gained a slight little bit of value. But um, to see chinks in the armor of Bitcoin seeming like it's more stable than our actual fiat currency, it's not there yet. I think our banking institutions are more stable than crypto right now. But that could change in like 90 days. That can change in like 6 months. Things can completely flip. You can see a ton of money going into crypto. Um, just flooding in there. Just upping that price of Bitcoin. Or it could go to zero. Just like our dollar is going to. At some point, our dollar is going to go to zero. At some point, people are going to have cash, and it ain't going to be worth nothing. You're going to have to. Like, they literally, in Germany, during hyperinflation, and I think that you'll be seeing hyperinflation on certain items. I don't think everything will be hyperinflated. Um, but they literally, people back then, um, they used wheelbarrows or whatever. They used a ton of cash just to buy regular things. Like these people rush after work with whatever they got paid with to try to buy because prices were moving that quickly. They were going up daily. To see like a loaf of bread go from like just say $1 today, and then in a week it's worth like $7. Like it was going up that quick. You can see it happening here. This financial system is it's a Ponzi scheme, and that's all it is, and it's all fake. I don't trust it at all. And more people will stop losing trust in it. Why do you think they're making the BRICS currency? Because they don't trust the dollar. They know that at some point it's going to fail. And America, in my opinion, We're going to all these wars to try to sustain power, and that's all it is. It's just power over other countries. Um, Definitely, like I said, I'm not a financial expert, and I might be like mess up on a couple of things I'm saying. Um, and I could be wrong. That currency could just be going on forever. I don't trust our dollar at all. CBC don't scare me. It don't scare me at all. Um, I figured out how to survive in this system. I'll figure out how to survive in that system. Uh, could you could you imagine? Think about this. Could you imagine getting like pining over reparations, and you get all this money thrown at you, and then all of a sudden, in like a couple months, like that currency becomes worthless. And I think that's what you might see. You know how angry people are going to be. I just like, I don't trust our currency at all. I just don't trust it. And that's why I'm diversified. That's why I have a little physical gold. That's why I got a little physical silver. That's why I got some Bitcoin. That's why I got lead. That's why I got food. You know, those that's all I can do. That's all I can do with what I have. And the debt I have, I got debt. I'm not going to lie. I can sell all my assets and I can pay off all my debt, but I don't want to. It limits me if I do that. And what I'm seeing is debt. Not only obviously the cash is being erased, cash that you hold on to for long periods of time is being erased. Well, so is debt. Debt's being erased too. They both are. So whatever cash I'm holding in the bank, the debt's being equally destroyed as well. Um, that's why I don't care about paying off all my debt. Not right now, anyway. Um, I can pay all of my debt off, and if I have to move somewhere else because a train decided to derail a train possibly, and where I live right now is not sustainable because of chemicals in the air or in the water, well, I can get up and leave. I can get up and leave, and I don't have to be bogged down. And I think it's really important to be mobile right now. It's to be able to have that freedom to be able to move from a different area if you have to. Um, because if I paid off all my debt and then all of a sudden all the credit that they gave me, what if they decided to say, no, you don't have that credit no more? Like some of my credit cards, I have like over $12,000 of credit I can use. What happens if they bring that down to $500 after I pay everything off? That would severely limit me to what I could do. Um, so right now, considering everything is so weird and un, it's so unstable. For me, this is what I've done. I'm not recommending for everybody, but I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to be able to. I got other people to think about. It's not just me. Another thing too is in my financial situation, I can't buy land right now, which I could sell off. I still have to figure out a way to make money to pay property taxes and shit, but I can't just go live off of grid by myself right now. Um, I can't do it. I don't have the funds. I don't have the money to do it. So I have items that if things do break down and it breaks down really rapidly, I can flee the city I'm at and go to the woods and camp, and maybe I do get ransacked and left for dead, but it'd be better if things economically break down for me to leave the city and try to survive out on the prairie, um, than stay in a city which people will start to cannibalize if it gets that bad. That's just a backup plan. Hopefully, I don't have to use that because I wouldn't be able to survive that long. But that's probably a better plan than most people have because they don't really have a plan. They're just trying to survive anyway. Uh, there's nothing guaranteed in this life, and I know this video is supposed to be about Trump. If you watch any of my videos, you know I don't stick to the storyline or whatever the headline is. That's not my MO. And maybe every plan I have will fail. I'm not saying like the plans I have are great, but considering what I have, what resources I have, what little resources I have, those plans are probably better than like 99% of people out there. A lot of people aren't even paying attention to anything. And, you know, I might be highly ignorant in a lot of things, but at least I have a little bit of awareness in something. You know, a lot of people don't pay attention to nothing. And I used to be one of those people. I used to be like, oh, I just care about sports. That's it. That's it. Sports and pussy. That's all I cared about. Didn't care about anything political, anything financial, nothing. And that's, you know, a lot of people. All they care about is surviving, maybe their family, maybe their vices or whatever. And they ain't paying attention to anything that's going on. Might hear a little bit, but they don't really have any understanding. Not saying that I have a big understanding. Other people can debate me. They come on and take every single talking point on here and probably make me look like a complete fool. And that's cool. No one, I never claimed to be an expert. You know, I just think like it's good to try to diversify right now, not go all into one thing, not go all in one cash. Oh, my 401k, I'm gonna put all this money in 401k. That's I'm gonna save 6% every check, and then because they match. But when I get older, like I can't think about when I'm 78. I can't think about when I'm 65. I can't think about that right now. It's on my mind. I want to be able to take care of myself, but I don't know what America's going to look like when I'm 65. I don't know. With all the unstableness of our financial system, no, I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't think like a 401k is going to do anything when I'm 65. That's for sure. I don't think any type of little retirement is going to do anything. I think if I was to be a good little clone or a good little drone, I mean, and stayed at the same job my whole life and didn't learn any type of new skills or anything like that, and just grinded away, blah blah blah, just lived my life like a boomer and didn't learn anything new, didn't learn anything off of here. It just saved, kept saving in my 401k. I think when I'm 65, that 401k would be worthless. It might buy a little bit at some point, but it's not going to sustain the rest of my life. You know, 401k is kind of like Bitcoin. It's kind of like an insurance. So that's all I look at it like, and I don't think the value of me just parking my cash in one spot with the inflation that we're going through and the inflation that we're probably going to go through in the future is worth it. I don't think it's very smart. And I might be stupid. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about everything I've just said in this whole video. Maybe I am. Maybe Trump is the antichrist devil that the left paints him out to be. Maybe he's the worst thing on earth. Maybe I'm wrong about everything I believe. Maybe men can have babies. Maybe I'm wrong about everything. Maybe I'm wrong that there is more than two genders. Maybe I'm wrong about everything. I just kind of come at things kind of like from a common sense reality type of level, man. And that's it. That's into this video.